Hi, I'm Yannick Defrenne, co-founder at Teamium. I'm pleased to share with you a tour on our application Teamium. Teamium is a resource scheduling application, and what we have to create and manage a project, as you may see, is managing. The first thing is what kind of resource do we have. So as an example is Teamium is managing studios, managing I would say cameras, any equipment, any facilities that you can have in production and post-production. So not only the capability to manage a product, what is very cool is the filtering. So you may say you're interested about such equipment and you can filter, but I won't say only C100 cameras or any model number you can define. Similarly, that another component for the production is to manage the personnel, the staff. And as you can see, staff could be could be a freelancer, could be internal, and any other person may work also with different companies. So it's very important to track the business rules, to track also the rates for such freelancer. Teamium has a multiple view. This is a cloud-based application, and you can build the view you like. So we get different views such list, Kanban. In this case, you're getting list. One is also very attractive is the smart filtering. So filtering by location, it's pretty interesting for the personal, and filtering as well by skills. So that's something we'll use. Just to get some power, that you can see that a person can also have multiple roles, and we can assign any task based on this role, skills, roles, language. So that's how we profiling the person. The third part is, before you're creating a project, is the client. You're working either through an internal client when you and a broadcaster on enterprise level, or if you're a production and post-production company, you will work with commercial and clients. So each of these clients could have his own rate and they got profile. So that's very important to keep that track. Of course, what you see on the side, it's configurable. You get different user role, different profiles, different privileges where you can set and allow the access to that. Now when we go to the project is multiple view. This is a Kanban view we use as a default, but you can also prefer to choose a list view. And what we do have implemented is new from IBC. It's kind of this desk assignment view. So what is nice there, when you get a repetitive project, very similar project that you can deal with, you can build your own view based on the user, and you can quickly go through the assignment of the resource. So right there, you can assign a resource, adding more people or facility or equipment. So what I suggest now is let's go to a project and see how we can really track the cost, the time, and the job. So now what we do have, when we go on the project, we have create multiple steps. One step could be the request. The request is used, could be internally for enterprise, but also we use this for quotation. On the commercial side, you may have a list of services that you can provide, and also the pricing of that. So every column here could be changed, and the user can really adapt the UI they need. And as you can see here, we have multiple phases. Extremely, not only that simple, but it's powerful. So when we're using for quotation, for example, you may have option 1, option 2, or even from your group, your team, you can really split between the production, the post-production, and you can also share this information under planning. So Teamium tracking the cost, and that's interesting for the commercial, and you can publish any PDF right from there. We have also an approval process in place, so you can trigger, you can see who is really approved, not approved. So for most enhanced workflow, that's also this feature you can easily enable on Teamium. Now, when we talk about scheduling, is people like, of course, to see, but Teamium has some intelligence that automatically to fetch the number of, in my case, I'm looking cameras. I get 15 cameras available for that time. So that's one way to do. And let's go, for example, for personal. We can see here, we have also smart filters that you may say, I need a shooter, but you see I need a shooter for only knowing the Canon C100 camera. In this case, you will notice that Teamium has only found one person. And that's also going beyond, because Teamium is a platform that can be used in different country, different time zone. So the power of that is to filter and not working in a blind way when you're assigning the people. What you notice here is a capability to create a purchase order inline. What does it mean is you don't have all the resource in your facility and you externalize. So in this way, you can directly create the purchase order. You can send by mail this purchase order. And what do we track right there? You know, it's any information, status, and it's part of the project. So now how we look about the scheduler. Scheduler that gives you the quick view of the project. And you can see it's a mix of the facility, the equipment, purchase order from vendors, and also the people. This view can be organized, you know, by different scale. And we do have the possibility to change. So if the project, for whatever the reason, you like to move, you can also move all the project. You can have some resource, bind, link all together. So on this view, you will, let me go back to the booking of the project. So we talk about scheduling resources. What the project is also a lot of information. So what we mean by this information is we capture as a free text right there. So you can put any comment, you can add any comment, and you know what, also one of the cool thing is a notification. So here I can put, oops, I'm sorry, I get a keyboard that you can put a notification and selecting who the person to be involved in that. So, you know, like hat. Other thing that in this table, notes, you can put notes right on each table. You say camera position, you can put note on each line. And one of the things is the possibility to also capture more information, such you get a meeting briefing. You can create as many meeting briefing here, and you can have the task. So everything here, you can even trigger a communication, a session with tools such as Skype, Teams, right there, directly from this interface. Going back to the booking, let's go now to project scheduler. So you need to get global views. Not only is working on this project. So here it could be, you know, my the kit view that I can generate, and you can define, the user can define his own kit view. So that's one type of view. Another view is could be you know, the timeline. And in the timeline, you can select any type of function or resource you may have. So in my case, I will go and I will like to see maybe, let's go to pick up cameras. That's maybe talking, and again, it could be edit suite, anything. The scales you have, and for any cameras, you will see any pending booking. So here you see I get 2 projects pending, so the scheduler can easily drag and drop and say, okay, let's put this camera right there. And one of the feature is, as a scheduler, people like to create placeholders. So placeholders, as you can see, is here, and I say, you know, that will be just take a simple, we'll take a post-production, I mean, let's say, interview Stefan. That's the placeholder. And let's just put some time there. Okay. Now, this is a placeholder. I'm not assigned anything to a project yet. So for the accounting point of view, it's just there. I put a mark. But at any time, I can use this placeholder and link into a project itself. So everything I'm doing from here, it's also viewable, and if I'm adding a booking, we keep track of the cost right there. So, for example, here you can even add more resource, or you can change, create repetitive. You can also change equipment, and you can use different recurrency for the project. So let's go back to a project itself. So we talk about the procurement, we talk about the cost. Now, could be interesting is the financial part. So on the financial part, we have multiple currency, we get different fees, so we can see and have any overhead. But one of the cool things, in a real time, we export the financials. So we know exactly how much we spend on a resource, do we have outsource, in which category. So we're tracking cost and we actualizing the budget in real time. So that give a quick view on the project. Let me go a few more things, and let's go now to a higher level as the production scheduling. So we go on this particular project, we can go now to have a global project view. So global project view can be on the calendar view, but also we do have the Gantt view. And what is cool, you will see 150 project right there, and we can see in detail for each phase. So we are on this Extreme Theater, and we can see how many cameras, how many shooter, what all the production team we currently have right there. So interesting view, and we see the duration. We capture all of that, and user can directly, take the filters about here. So you can isolate this project, and you don't need to go and focus on the other. Roster for enterprise that has full-time employees and they need to manage their own internal people. That's an example of, let's go to roster. So I can get some duty, I can get also my workload, I can see the availability of the personnel. And let's move now to the financial part. Financial part is the possibility to export. You can see predefined reports. Teamium allows you to create custom reports that you can keep for yourself or share with other employees. So all this information is ready for business intelligence. So you get every project, the resource, the cost, and the time spent, and what has been actualized. And you see how fast it is and how simple. So we do have this report from project, resource, personal, and also for the billing perspective. One more thing, and to end that, every user gets his own dashboards, and they can go and create, they can see any task, they can report, request leave, work on different time report right there, and the time report is available right here. So I'm pleased to welcome you on the booth, hope today or tomorrow, and look forward to give you a one-to-one demonstration at the Extreme booth.